DJ Tips, the summer school edition. What does that mean? It means that we are in my backyard. We are facing to the mountain behind my summer house here, and I'm not in the HQ, and I won't be until the 1st of September when it's back to school. So I'm really looking forward to being able to bring you all this stuff live over the next. I'm just looking at what that is. That's completely new. Interesting. My software has just given me a completely new little box there. Anyway, I'm looking forward to bringing you stuff with a slightly different feel from my backyard for the next 8 or 9 weeks or so. So welcome. Good to have you here, all our locals, all our regulars, and also our new crew who are tuning in for the first time. If you are new, this is Digital DJ Tips, going live once a week to bring you tips and tricks and advice to help you in your DJing. Our whole mission is to help you become great DJs and great DJ producers. So that is the whole point of this, and that is why I am here today. We've got people already piling in to say hello. Feel free to do so on Facebook, over on YouTube, but especially if you are tuning in on our Global DJ Network page, because Global DJ Network is where it happens. That is the group that you really want to be part of, and if you aren't in the Global DJ Network, I'll tell you exactly how to get into that a little bit later on. So that's us. We are here to help you, and today it's all about holidays. It's about how to get gigs when you're on holiday. So quite a good topic, right? I will move on to, I've got 5 points I want to cover on this. I'll move on to that. If you're watching this on the replay, you missed the live broadcast, subscribe, hit notify, hit show posts first, do all that stuff. That means that we'll let you know when these go live. They're more fun live. If you're watching the replay on YouTube thinking get to it, this is a recording of a live show. Therefore, I will not get to it. I will spend a lot of time with everyone who's on the live broadcast, so it's not a 5-minute YouTube video. That's what I'm letting you know. All right then, lots of early hellos before we get started here. So I've got them all on my screen in front of me. Quite clever this. So hello to Dave in Yellowknife. Hi to Matthew. Hi to Cresan or Crekin. Hi to Daniel, Michael, Damien, and Capture Beach UK, all on YouTube. Ravi says morning from Toronto. Erickson says hello. Michael and Victor saying hello over on YouTube. Michael, hello to you. Victor, you're in Switzerland. Hello to Mika, Stefan, Marcus, Michael, Maximus, John, and Kevin, all on Facebook. Hi to Garav, Fragments, Darren, Boris on YouTube. A few questions coming in already, which is good. I'll try and get to your questions as soon as I can. Tom says hello, and hello to everyone else who's from Magaluf. Well, there you go. There's someone in a holiday resort right there, so maybe you'll have some tips for us. Hi to Ardy in Las Vegas, 24/7 holiday place there, right, Ardy? And hi to DJ Nemesis in Philadelphia. Loads and loads of you. Too many to read out. I'll stop reading these out. I want to get to the meat of what we're on about today. But thank you very much, everyone. If you find this useful, by the way, you'll be helping us if you hit subscribe, if you hit share, if you hit like, if you do anything to help us get the word out about this. All right, then. How to get gigs on holiday. Getting gigs on holiday is an absolutely awesome thing to do. I've done it. Some of you will have done it. I want you to share in those comments and tell us how you've got gigs on holiday. Tell us what you've done, what's worked for you. Share your stories. I will read them out, so please take the time to do that. But I'm going to share 5 tips that have worked for me and that have worked for people I know. So number 1 is research. Number 1 is to do your research ahead of time. Get on Google Maps. Type clubs. Type bars, type venues, look at the ones that come up, click on them, see what they look like, see if they've got decks on the little pictures, ask your friends. Get on the Global DJ Network, which is our global networking place for DJs. There will be someone on there who lives in the place where you're going on holiday. So do what you can do to research ahead of time the place that you're going on holiday. And this is really good because it means that you're going to hit the ground running. You're not going to be like, well, what's what here? You're going to know. You're going to know where they've got decks. You're going to know where they have warm-up bars for the clubs. You're going to know what the clubs are. Be realistic. You're not going to get gigs in the biggest clubs in town just by turning up. You might do, but it's very unlikely. But you will get gigs in the warm-up bars. You will get gigs in the sunset bars. You will be able to get gigs on the strip and stuff like that. But you've got to be there. You've got to know the places to go and hang out in. So do your research ahead of time. The internet is a great thing, but also the Global DJ Network. Now, I said I'd tell you, if you don't know what I'm talking about, how to get on this network. It really is worth doing. You head over to our Facebook page. So Digital DJ Tips Facebook page, facebook.com/Digital DJ Tips. You click message, and you send the single word join to us. So that's it. You go to our Facebook page, click message, send the word join. We'll join you up. Global DJ Network is a private group with thousands of our best community members in it, and it's awesome. So this is a place that you can research venues in to start with. So there's a tip there. So do your research ahead of time before you actually turn up. So take as many kinds of music as you possibly can. Everything that you've ever played or you ever think you'd be happy playing, take a pop set, take a rock set, take an underground house set, take a clap along, sing along house set, take some dubstep, take some trap, take some hip hop, take some Latin, take everything you possibly can with you that you would be comfortable playing, because you never know what gigs are going to present themselves, right? So it's always a good idea to just take the lot, take it, and but not only take it, but assemble it into like rough sets based around your research, because that means you're ready at the drop of a hat to play a gig in any place that might offer it to you. So doing your research, but also doing your preparation before you go on a holiday is a really, really good idea, because it means you're going to be ready when you get there to do the things that we're going to talk about next. So tip number one, do your research. Use the Global DJ Network. It's the best place that we know to research by networking with DJs all over the world, including where you're going on holiday this year. Number two, do your music preparation, so you've got sets to cover all bases possible when you get there. I'm going to go back to the live comments now and read out some bits and pieces. So Armando says, hi Phil, I'm going to New York in September to play at a wedding of my best friend. I want to score some additional gigs. What best advice do you have? Well, look, Armando, your best friend is inviting loads and loads of people to their wedding in New York. Those people are probably from New York. So can you get in touch with them? Can you talk to them? Is there a wedding group? There's always a wedding WhatsApp group, right? Get in there. Say, look, while I'm here, I want to play some gigs. Can you help? Use that group, use that network of people. There's 100 people going to that wedding. I bet one of them could get you a gig. There's my advice for you there to Armando. So the world of Rasmus says, I just got a Newmark party mix and you helped me a lot. Thanks. Well, look, we're really pleased about that. But that does bring me on to point number 3. And point number 3 is, take a tiny DJ controller with you. Take a party mix. Take a DJ to go to. Take a Hercules Starlight. These are all tiny DJ controllers. Take one of those with you, and then you've got a place to sit. Even if it's only the pool bar in your hotel, take a nice little DJ speaker, like a mini rig or something, or a small little Beats to Go speaker or whatever. Take a tiny DJ controller, and at the very least you can bring all your new friends back to your hotel room and really get on their nerves by playing into the night from your controller and your speaker. But take a tiny bit of kit with you. There are micro DJ setups. Just get a DJ app on your iPad or even on your phone, but just get yourself set up with these little things, because they're a lot of fun. Joey at Digital DJ Tips has played a whole gig and not just like pressing play, literally DJing a proper rave. At the drop of a hat, he was recognised on a beach on holiday, and he had his iPad with him just to kind of check up on the news. Someone said, will you DJ for us? And he's like, yeah, why not? They recognised him, and he ended up playing like a 4-hour set straight off his iPad. Take that kind of gear with you. You never know. It might be the difference between you getting a gig and not. I'm going to move on to more points after I've had a chance to read out a few more of your comments. So Matthew says, I've not gigged abroad yet. It's definitely something I would consider in the future. There's a difference between going abroad to gig and just getting gigs opportunistically on your holiday. I live, as you can tell, I live in a very nice place. This is actually my summer home. It's over the border from where we are all year long, which is in Gibraltar. This is actually in Spain. When I first moved to Spain from the United Kingdom, I got a gig in a local beach bar, which I've played at for years. If you're a member of our complete DJ course, it's in the playing out section. There's actually a video I made down at that beach bar to show you about setting up in bars and stuff. I got my first gig there by hiring the place out, by saying, look, we'll fill it on a Sunday night. They didn't charge me for it. I said, we'll fill it on a Sunday night. I want to play some music. It's going to be a fancy dress party. It was a Halloween party or something. I went dressed as Scooby-Doo. They called me DJ Scooby for years after that. But that's how I got in with them. And now I get to play there whenever I want, right? So, that's another way of doing it if you're moving somewhere. Just we're moving to a different area there. So this is a great question. This is coming from Nucleosynthesis. Hi Phil, what if you need to play on different gear compared to yours? For instance, I play on a Newmark Mix Track 3, but the gig will require you to use their CDJ 2000s. Great question. So a couple of things. Actually, there's a video going. This is so opportune. There's a video going live on our channel from Mark, who you will know as one of our content creators, in the next week or two, which is about how to play on CDJs for the first time and what to look out for. So firstly, look out for that video. But look, the point is, if you've prepared your music ahead of time, so you get Record Box, which is the software you use to prepare music for the Pioneer CDJs that you see in pro DJ booths. You get Record Box, you get a USB drive, and you prepare your music. You get cue points, you get loops and stuff, and you put a set on a USB drive that's prepared for CDJs. Well, now when you walk up to a CDJ setup and plug that in and press load, the whole thing will populate, and you'll be able to DJ from it as if it was a big DJ controller. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the same, and obviously it'd be good to get practice on this gear. But honestly, you turn up an hour or two ahead of time when the place is empty. If it's a bar, turn up in the morning before they open and say, look, can I just recce your gear because I just want to make sure my Record Box sticks works all right before I play the gig I said I was going to play tonight. You'll be able to work it out in an hour or two. Don't try anything fancy. Just play the tracks to the end and start the next one, and you'll soon get the hang of it. Sometimes you've got to throw yourself in at the deep end. Dev says, is that a pool in the background? Nice. Yes, this is a pool. I've locked myself out the back because the kids have just come back from their summer school and they are locked in the room there waiting to come and get in the pool. But hey, I'm going to be finishing this before they get a chance to. Steve Silas says, I get a gig or two from every event or wedding I do. Let the music and your professionalism do the talking. I think it's a really good piece of advice, that. So more of your live comments. DJ Patrick Grace says, I guess it's easier these days. Bringing a USB stick on a Ryanair flight is a lot handier than trying to log records. Yeah, that feeling when you put your records on the conveyor belt and let them go off into the hold, and you never know if you're going to see them again. It's lucky that we don't have to do that anymore, isn't it, us DJs? Gareth says, I'm trying to introduce house music to the small dance scene in Bahrain. It's mostly unfamiliar to the crowd. Any advice? Yep, start very, 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 very small. Start in a bar that holds 20 people and get 10 people there. When you can sell that out, move up to one that holds 50, get 20 in there. And then when you can sell that out, move up, move up, move up. Take everyone's email addresses, let them know when you're doing the next event. Do events regularly, and that's the way to kind of do that. But I admire you. Well done for that. All right, this is a great piece of advice from Daniel. He says, check the local charts. This is a brilliant piece of advice. I love these lives because you guys make them better by giving me stuff that I have not got in what I planned. If you go on to Shazam, there is a lot. I don't mean on your phone, I mean on the website. There is a tab called Shazam Cities. And in Shazam Cities, you can actually look up the top tracks in any city anywhere in the world. That, my friends, is gold dust, because that gives you the tracks that you want to be getting for the place you're going on holiday. So thank you very much for sharing that, Daniel. That was a really good bit of advice from our YouTube channel over there. So what do you think about banners when you're spinning? Well, if you can afford to fold up a banner and stuff it in your luggage, great. But it's not something that I particularly would find room for in my luggage, I don't think, but I don't see any reason why not. So all right then, I want to move on to the other points. So we're covering, if you've just joined us, we're covering ways to get gigs when you're on holiday, hustling for gigs on holiday. And if you are enjoying this, please do hit subscribe. Do it now. It will really help us. Or share, or like, any of those things. Show your love. All right, so we've already covered do your research ahead of time. We've covered take all types of music, including taking a USB stick. We've covered take an iPad or an iPhone with a DJ app on. Take even a small DJ controller, like one of the tiny Numark DJ to go to, the Hercules Starlight, or even a Numark Party Mix, something like that, in order that you can throw parties around the pool or in your hotel room. It's all good. Take a mini speaker for that purpose as well. So here's my next piece of advice, number 4 of 5. Hustle on your very first day. Make it the first thing you do. Make it like your holiday doesn't start until you've hustled for a gig, because if you don't, you're probably not going to do it. Yes, as you tour around, as you nip in and out of bars, as you eat places, as you drink places, you're going to see decks. You're going to be able to approach people and say, hey, have you got any openings this week? But look, it's like sending a postcard, right? You remember sending postcards? Who remembers sending postcards? They were the days, weren't they? You always had to send your postcards on the first day, didn't you? Because it wouldn't arrive there till after you'd got back home, right? You remember that? It's the same thing with gigs. You want to be asking every single venue that you had on your list, on your hit list, and every other venue you see on that very first day, because they might have a gig a week away. Well, look, if you're only there for a week, that's no good. If you're there for 10 days, that's great. But you leave it a couple of days, it suddenly isn't great. They might have a gig in 2 or 3 days' time, or 4 days, or 5 days. The sooner you ask, the more likely you are that they're able to fit you in. So hustle on your very first day. And it's just like, hey, you know, I'm a big DJ from, big yourself up, I'm a big DJ from Manchester in England. I'm here on holiday. Guess what? I've got music with me. Have you got any slots? I'm not, you know, you're not going to get paid for this stuff, right? Have you got any slots? I just love to play for you. It'd be good fun. What do you reckon? You will get paid because they'll give you drinks. They might be aligned to a local club. They might be able to get you a guest list that night. You will get something in return normally, because if you do a great job, people want to reward you. But you're not doing this for money, right? You're doing this to be able to say, I've DJ'd. I'm an international DJ. What better thing to be able to say, right? I've DJ'd in Ibiza. I've DJ'd in Mallorca. I've DJ'd in Las Vegas. I've DJ'd in Sydney. I've DJ'd in Thailand. What a great thing to be able to say. And guess what? Your socials are going to look brilliant with photos of you DJing in those places on them, right? So look, there's a lot more here that you can get that isn't money from this. It's one of those instances where playing for free is definitely worth it. So point number 4, hustle on your very first day. It's going to be too late if you leave it later, and psychologically you probably won't do it if you leave it later. Here's a great comment from Mark. He says, find the local music related groups to the city you are going to. Find out who the promoters are, find the names of the venues they use and what dates their events are on. Then get in touch and hopefully they'll have a spot for you. This is all music genre dependent, of course. But yeah, awesome tip, that one, Mark. Thank you very much for that. So let's keep looking through. What's the URL for Shazam, please? I don't know. Just you're gonna have to Google Shazam. Shazam.com, I'm gonna guess. It says Unlimited Gamer. So John says, hey Phil, finally getting to watch you live despite it being midnight in Australia. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much for that, John. Cheers, Phil. Your background looks so awesome today, says Matthew. Yeah, for those of you joining us live, we're in my backyard in my summer villa, because I'm not in the studio, and the best bit is I'm not in the studio until September now. Actually, I'm going there tomorrow for a day. It's not that far away, but I'm trying to avoid it for the next couple of months. It's summer hours at Digital DJ Tips. So Delmar says, don't forget the old school way. Have your business card. Yep, Delmar, you're completely right there. So let's not forget that. All right then. Real DJs bring their own music and love the people to their own flow. But hey, thanks for the advice, says Victor. I'm not really sure what that advice is, Victor, or what that comment is, but thank you very much for feeding back. It is appreciated. Rajul says, I'm going to the USA in December, which is also holiday month, and Christmas. How should I approach for gigs there? Exactly the same thing that I'm telling you here. There's no difference at all. Do exactly what I'm saying, Rajul. So Bjorn says, whoa, seriously? What a tip about Shazam. Yeah, it's a belter, and so few people know that. Go to Shazam.com, I think it's Shazam.com, and click the cities tab, and you will be able to search for any city in the world and see what people are Shazamming in that city. So awesome. So more comments. When I did go abroad, I managed to talk to someone, even had a few DJs on social media in Malia. Well, that's awesome. You know, any networking you can do is worth it. So tip number 4 was hustle on your very first day, because if you don't, it will be too late. So my tip number 5 is a pro tip. And this one is the one that got me the biggest gig I ever played in my life. Not the biggest number of people, that was a festival, but the biggest gig I ever played in my life. I got to play in Privilege in Ibiza, which is the biggest club in the world, twice. I was never a big DJ producer. I was never a massive name in DJing. I was a super resident, really. You know, I ran my own club for years. I bought my house from my DJ earnings. I played every week. I met all my heroes. I DJed with all my heroes. I did everything I wanted to do, but I was a super resident, right? I was at the top of the pile of resident DJs. That's as far as I got in my particular career. However, I got to play in some of the best venues in the world. So one of the ways I did it was this, and this is the pro tip I want to share with you at the end today. You need to do this ahead of time. You need to do this like a year ahead of time. If you know that this time next year you're going to Ibiza, start now. What you want to do is find out who is the resident, who is the promoter DJ, who is the person in charge of, involved in the big nights in all the big venues. And you want to make them your friends. And it only really works if you already play at a club night in your city, which is why it's a pro tip. If you play somewhere in your city already, or even better, if you're one of the promoters of somewhere in your city, this tip is solid gold. You get in touch with the resident DJs at those venues that you want to play at and say, hey, would you like to come and play at, insert your venue name here, and you get them a gig in your venue. You're not going to be paying them very much. Hey, they're only the resident DJ. And you promote them on your particular flyers, online website, promotion for your club night. You promote them as, so let's say you get a DJ from Privilege in Ibiza, let's use that. You put this DJ on brackets Privilege Ibiza, right? So there's a small draw there for your audience. You could put an Ibiza night on, right, in your venue, and you get this resident. Now, they might be in your country. They might even live in your country, especially if it's the UK or something. A lot of the people who play in the summer in these big resorts, they're like birds coming home to roost. They come home in winter and they only go back in summer, right? So you contact everyone and you find someone who can potentially play at your venue on the cheap, right? And they come and play. But guess what? As soon as you've given something to someone, they want to give something back. So then you can say, well, any chance I can come and play in your venue? Kind of as a throwaway comment. Guys, I did that and I got to play in Ibiza. I got to play not only in Ibiza, in the best sunset bars in Ibiza, but then I upped it and got to play in the biggest club in the world, in Privilege in Ibiza. And the way I did that was a simple resident swap. I got in touch with a guy called Alex Gold, who ran a record label called Extravaganza Records, had acts like Chicane and a few other big names of the time on this on this label. And Alex was he was up for it. He was up for coming and playing at my venue. We paid him a little bit. He came and played. A few people came out to hear him. We had a lot of fun. But when Alex was doing his rosters for the DJs in his night at Privilege in Ibiza that summer, the phone rang and Alex is like, Phil, do you want to come and play in Ibiza? He knew I ran a club. He knew I'd bring a few people. I'm like, yeah, okay. And we did that a couple of times for him. And what an experience for me to play in front of a crowd at the biggest club in the world, right, in the main room. That's not something resident DJs normally get. So that's how I did it. If you run your own club night, you might be able to do that as well. Think about it, but you have to plan this kind of stuff ahead of time. So Lisa says, what is a good site to research opportunities? Lisa, you obviously joined us late because I was talking about using the Global DJ Network. The Global DJ Network is a site by DJs for DJs that we run, but we're not, we don't, it's not our agenda. We leave it alone. We let it work. It's awesome. It's an awesome DJ group. There's a couple of thousand DJs in there. What we do is handpick who's allowed in, but we want you to join as well. So you're watching this broadcast, you're a serious DJ, you're serious about DJing, you're the kind of people we want to join this. We make it a little bit harder to join this than just going somewhere and clicking. You have to go to our Facebook page. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you have to go after this broadcast to facebook.com/Digital DJ Tips, right? Easy. Go to our Facebook page. When you get there, click message to send us a message and then type the word join. Okay, so go to our Facebook page, click message, type the word join. My team, Scott, Lauren and Ben, will check you out and they will admit you to the group manually. And once you're in there, you are in a brilliant place to network, Lisa, because we've got people in there from all over the world. So you can say, hey, I am traveling to this place. Anyone there? Any advice on venues and that kind of thing. So that is a very good place to do that. I'm just checking out your tips here. So if you've got any tips for us, a lot of you are asking questions. The same approach when you come to USA. This is someone answering that question for our reader. The same approach when you come to the USA as well as abroad. Network to the right contacts and you'll do well. Have your music business card leading to your site. EPK, which means electronic press kit, just a posh version of a place where people can get info from you from your website. And that's the way to go forward, says Delmar. Thank you for sharing that. Matt says, can I deduct a holiday or vacation gig as a business expense? I think you ought to talk to your accountant about that. If you can, you have got a very good accountant, I would say. So Matt says, I am doing a all-inclusive in 3 weeks. How do I go about doing an hour or two by the pool? I can't lug speakers or controllers. No, but you don't have to. All the all-inclusive hotels have got DJ gear. They've already got yoga by the pool. They've already got pool aerobics. They've already got a nightclub for the kids. They've got gear. They've got stuff to entertain the kids club. They've got the gear. All you've got to do is walk in and be very, very nice to them and say, hey, I'm a big DJ back home. Let me do something for you, and see what they say. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. All inclusives are a great place to do this stuff, by the way. Really great place to do this stuff. Okay, more questions coming in live. This is some advice from Kevin, who says over on YouTube, says, I do loads of Volkswagen shows and always take my DDJ 400 hooked up to our group's camper van to do little parties around the campsite. I also always take a prepped USB with me in case a main act doesn't show. I was talking to DJ Rachel, some of you will know her, Rachel Lynch, brilliant DJ from the States. She's an event DJ on the podcast, actually. And she was saying that she's really into cars. She's got 5 cars. She goes to car shows, and she's always getting asked to DJ at car shows just by being there. So look, you can do this kind of stuff for sure. So thank you for that, Kevin. I think we have done just about enough here today. I've given half an hour's worth of stuff here that was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone who's joined in. I don't have anything else I want to ask you to do at the end of today. Normally we've got like, hey, now go and do this. But seriously, people, if you're going on holiday, try and hustle for gigs. The 5 points I've shared with you are: research, do your research. If you want to find a place where you can chat to DJs all over the world who might be where you're going on holiday, the Global DJ Network is a very, very good place. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/digital DJ tips. Click message, type the word join. We'll let you into the Global DJ Network. You're in for life then, as long as you don't misbehave. And that is a great place to ask this stuff. So that is our secret weapon for you. Take All Types of Music, our second secret weapon, brought about by wonderful input from you guys and girls, is use Shazam cities. Go to shazam.com and then click on the cities tab and type in any city in the world where you're going on holiday. It will show you the top tunes there, so you know what music to take. Take your iPad or your iPhone with the DJ app on it. Take a little DJ controller, take a small speaker. At least you can play pool parties, right? Take a USB drive with music on. Take as much music as you can. You never know what you're going to be asked to do. Hustle on the very first night, just like sending your postcards, for those of you who remember doing that. The sooner you do it, the better, because the gigs might be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in advance. So the sooner you can go and talk to these venues, the better. And also psychologically. And the pro tip, if you play in your current city, you already have gigs, try and resident swap with residents in the place where you are going on holiday. You might land really good gigs that way. I landed a gig in the best club in the world, the biggest club in the world, by doing just that, playing in Privilege and Ibiza. That's how I did it. So that is our tips today for playing on holiday. Thank you very, very much, everyone who's joined in. A few of you asking what an EPK is. It's an electronic press kit. It's basically a downloadable package, a zip file maybe with a few photos in, a PDF about who you are, maybe a little DJ mix, something you can share with people ahead of time. Awesome. It's been really good today. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed being in my backyard for once, not in the Digital DJ Tips studio. I'm going to be here for the next couple of months, and they're all going to be live from here. I might just move around the house or even around the resort and bring you these from different places. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see what we can do over the next couple of months. You guys have been brilliant. Get good, get out there, make the moments. Even if you're on holiday, get good, get out there and make the moments, people. I'll see you again next time. Thank you very, very much on YouTube, on the Global DJ Network, and on our Facebook page, everyone who's joined in. As usual, we've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in here today, so I haven't been able to read out all your hellos, but thank you very much. Thanks to all those of you who are just giving some thanks down there in the comments at the end. Thank you, people. It's been great to talk to you this week, and I'll see you again very soon. Till then, bye-bye.